A team that really had a low key, very good weekend. Mercedes, Lewis
Yeah.
Hamilton. Whenever Roscoe is in the house, Dad is going to go out there and throw down. Roscoe, obviously the English bulldog that is Lewis Hamilton's. I don't know if you saw he was
Just in
getting
case you didn't know.
yeah, he was getting interviewed the other day, and he was barking back. But Lewis Hamilton, coming from a qualification, poor start as well. They struggled, and it didn't. They were on differing strategies between Hamilton and
Yeah.
Russell, but for a third place and a fifth place finish, pretty good weekend.
Yeah. Overall good weekend for the team. Again, I think really good for the team morale. Again, what a treat for the two British drivers, but what a treat for the British crowd as well. And they gave us some incredible, what was it? I think just after Kevin Magnussen had his issue and his engine just failed, I think we saw some really incredible overtaking from George Russell as well, which again just reminds you of this sport really does come alive when you have those moments. And we were talking, oh, are they going to overtake? Oh, no, not this time. Oh, maybe. And you realize these are the moments that just make this sport really incredible. And again, just seeing that Mercedes, and I always say it, but no one, in my opinion, watching Sir Lewis Hamilton overtake from the back of the grid is always something spectacular. Even when he's in the midfield battles, watching him just pick off the drivers one by one. Max Verstappen is another person who's incredible to watch when they do that. But no, it's, again, pretty good weekend for the Mercedes. They're not going to be happy with it, but they should be happy with it.
So here's my question, because obviously Mercedes, they always want more. Does Mercedes win a race? Are they the team that breaks through and breaks the Red Bull dominance? Could it be McLaren? Who do you think has the better chance to win a race first? McLaren, Mercedes, Aston Martin, Ferrari? Who is it?
Oh, it's funny because my knee-jerk reaction is to say Mercedes, but I'm thinking it's just because I'm still so used to their dominance for the past decade. I still gonna think. I think it's going to be Aston Martin. Bizarrely, they started the year really strong. They, as you said at the start, they've dipped a little bit. I always worry with McLaren that, and I think this is why Zach Brown is being cautious, that they're like, okay, we've got the right upgrades, everything's working, and then you get excited a little bit too soon, and then it just sort of like pipes down again. I have a feeling that I think it's gonna. I'm gonna put my bet on Aston Martin.
Okay.
What about you?
I think Mercedes.
Yeah.
I do think one thing with Mercedes, it's the consistency.
Yep.
The highs are, it doesn't seem like the highs are, they don't get too high, they don't get too low. And we've, heard plenty. It's obviously been a challenging year. So heard the interaction between Toto and Lewis,
Yep.
saying, hey, we know the car's bad, just drive it. And I love how Toto said, look, you should be in meetings. There's been
I
far
love that.
worse
You
things
think
that
that was
have
bad?
been said. But yeah, though they are ultimate competitors, George Russell being in that seat has added another to the mix. So I do think that Mercedes, when they find the right track, we don't know which one it will be, but they have a consistent car that I think Mercedes will break through.
You know what? It's interesting. When I was listening, Lewis Hamilton was saying about the McLaren car, that car is a rocket ship. And I feel like when he says that, it's always a little bit of, okay, they're fast, but I think I can beat them. I'll say he wouldn't say that out loud. So you may be right that there's something there with the Mercedes team, that they're slowly starting to see some opportunities.
Also, that Lewis Hamilton contract is not done yet. We haven't
That's
heard any
true.
news reported, and obviously McLaren has, but we're not 100%
Busy.
sure
He's making a
yet.
movie with Brad Pitt and Apple. Lewis Hamilton's busy. He's too busy to
Yeah,
sign his
maybe
contract.
he leverages that to get the true 11th team on the grid. That's his team. So we've hit the two teams that had really good weekends.
You
Here in
joke, but that
Britain.
would be an incredible move. I know this is like
Oh
pie in the sky.
yeah.
This is not happening. But did you imagine the ton of events of, oh yeah, you like the movie? Great. Well, You
Yes,
want an 11th team on the grid?
our
Sorry,
11th
Andretti.
team. Yeah.
Oh dear. But no, you're right. He still doesn't have a signed contract. But Lewis is notorious. Again, I think that relationship and that trusted relationship that he had with Toto Wolff is very much of, we're going to take our time. There's no rush here. There's, there's no one wait. There are a lot of people waiting in the backstages for that seat, but I don't think anyone is looking to anyone else but Lewis right now. So I think he's in a very privileged position because of the relationship and the trust that they've been built on that team to take it slow with his contract negotiations, which by the way is a stark contrast, I feel like, to everyone else on the grid. If it was anyone else, I'd be very worried that, dude, I don't know if you've got a seat next year, but when it comes to Hamilton, I think he's okay.
He'll be okay.
He'll be fine.
Okay.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube, and for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app, and for premium content plus live streaming, make sure to subscribe to ESPN Player.